In my last video, I discussed my 2023 World Athletics Championship medal predictions for the short sprints and hurdles. It also included a fun $10 wager to whoever has the best predictions in the comments. If that sounds like it's more your jam and you haven't seen it, links in the description. Otherwise, today, I'm going over the same thing, but my medal predictions for the men's and women's 400 meter hurdles, high jump, long jump, and pole vault. Of course, I also invite you to lay down your picks in the comments down below. If your picks end up more accurate than mine, well, no money this time, but you get a firm handshake between men. Let's jump right in, starting with the men's 400 meter hurdles. In gold, I've got Rai Benjamin, Santos for silver, and Voorholm for bronze. The 400 meter hurdles has undoubtedly proven to be one of the most exciting events in track and field in the last few years. We have three of the fastest 4 hurdlers in history competing right now at their peak. In saying that, Benjamin has been pressing Voorholm's heels for a long time now, and I think it's about time he proves himself the better athlete, which honestly he is. Between Santos, Voorholm, and Benjamin has the fastest raw sprint times by far. He's run a 10.03 100 meter, a 19.99 200 meter, and a 44.21 400 meter. He is the faster athlete. The other two have run times that aren't even in the same realm. Dos Santos in silver. He does have some fantastic 400 meter open times, running sub 44 the last 3 seasons consistently. He also showed he can capitalize when it matters most, winning the 2022 World Champs. But I think he's just outdone by Benjamin in a raw athletic ability. Then there's the big dog, Voorholm. He is the world record holder, Olympic champion, and 2 times world champ, yet he's in bronze. He's had a weird season this last year, fighting injury, but he's proven he's back in form. He is amazingly good at this event. And this is going to sound weird, but he isn't a freak athlete. We've seen him crumble in multiple open 400 meter races. He did pave the way for sub 46 seconds in the 400 meter hurdles, but I think we're about to see the other 2 athletes lay down some crazy times. For the women's 4 hurdles, I do have to mention the elephants in the room. McLaughlin is not competing. Major blow as the last world and Olympic champion and world record holder. But as she leaves, Femke Bol lights the hell up. She's been laying down a crazy season. She's undefeated so far in multiple events and recently ran a 51.45 second time, making her the second fastest of all time in the event. This broke the Diamond League and European record. Additionally, this time would have actually won the Tokyo Olympics as well. So with enough said, I've got Bol in gold, Russell in silver, and Little in bronze. Bol is the obvious top pick, but Russell, while she has only the 6th fastest time this year, she's thrown together some fast open 400s and has consistently beat out the other faster runners this year, only losing to Bol in the last 4 races. She's definitely an athlete who runs the race, not the clock. Little is in a similar situation, fast open 4s this year, and has been lowering her times as the world champs near closer, which is always a good sign. Some top contenders are Knight from Jamaica, who got beat by her countrymen in their last 2 races. And lastly, Britton Wilson, who will also not be running the 4 hurdles, opting for the open 4 instead. Alright, the men's high jump. This is personally my most anticipated event, and for those of you who don't follow it religiously like me, these picks are going to seem pretty weird. I'm taking the Korean Woo for gold, Barsham for silver, and Harrison for bronze. Woo has been putting together a ridiculous 2022 and 2023. He broke out at the 2021 Olympics, jumping 235, smashing his PB by 5 centimeters, and placing just outside the medals. But since then, he has been the most consistent high jumper in the last 2 years, and it's not even close. He's jumped in 22 competitions, placing top 2 in 19 of them, and winning 14 of them. He also came second at the last World Champs to the big man himself, Barsham, the second best jumper in history, yet I've got him in the silver spot. He's only started jumping again recently, throwing down a 236 world lead and a 233. He's certainly in form, but if I'm honest, he hasn't been as unbeatable since his ankle injury in 2018. Prior to the injury, he jumped 240 6 years in a row. He hasn't been over 237 since. Then Harrison in bronze. I honestly think he could take the gold this year, and there's a good reason. We saw Harrison struggle at the 2022 World Champs and at the 2021 Olympics, trying to double in the long and high. Mainly because he had to jump in 2 different qualification days before jumping in the finals. Yet he still managed to get over elite heights and finish just outside medals. Well, this year, the long jump is completely after the high jump. He'll have completely fresh legs here. For contenders, there's obviously Tamberi, but he has been very up and down this year. He even jumped 212 at a meet. But to be honest, that is his typical fashion. There's also Potye, Kerr, and Baden, who have put together some big jumps, but have been even more inconsistent than Tamberi. The women's high jump is a bit more clear cut. I will pick Mahuknic for gold, Ollie Slagers for silver, and Topic as an underdog bronze. Mahuknic is the most powerful women's high jumper I've ever seen. She's jumped over 2 meters every year since she was 18 and has the highest PB by a large margin. She has looked shaky lately and is honestly a bit of a choke artist in big events, but that was the past from when she was still a teen. Ollie Slagers has been building a resume since the Olympics, pinning herself as a consistent top contender every competition. She's got the world lead this year and even had a month stretch where she got over 2 meters 3 times. I'm honestly so tempted to have put her in gold, but gut feeling says Mahuknic. In terms of Topic, she is the next generation's top women's high jumper for sure. She's 18 as of this week and has been consistently jumping around her PB of 197. A lot of these jumps have secured her placings on podiums, whether it be at European Champs or Diamond Leagues or just every elite field competition. I really believe she's gearing up for a breakout performance. As for contenders, Gerashenko would be my next in line. She's super consistent on the big stage, but if Topic can break out, it'll be tough for Gerashenko to yoink a medal spot. There are also others in Patterson who won the last World Champs, but has only recently got over some injury. She could absolutely contend for sure, just depends what type of form she's going to turn up in. There's also Livchenko and Cunningham, who are just a tad bit too inconsistent for me. Okay, the men's long jump. This may be the wackiest thing you'll see today. Did you know the men's long jump leaderboard looked like this? I'm a fan and follower of Indian athletics. This last decade, they've seen a rise in the jumps. Personally, my picks are going heavily against the grain. I'm going Tentaglo for gold, Sri Shankar for silver, and Furlani for bronze. These picks are a huge gamble, and they were goddamn hard to pronounce. Tentaglo has been the most consistent over 8 meter jumper by a country mile. Sri Shankar has been the surprise of 2023 and consistently banged out jumps well over 8 meters. And lastly, Furlani is the latest youth rising star. With absolute honesty, Pinnock, Dendi and Wang have been significantly better contenders, especially more so than Sri Shankar and Furlani. They've all jumped well into the 8 meters on several occasions in 2023. They've also all got experience on their side. But the field is just that tight that I can see my picks happening. If you didn't have your eye on the men's long jump, tune in or just check the results. It's literally up for anyone to grab. Onto the women's long jump. This one is tough. Some big jumps have come out this year, but huge inconsistency from everyone in the field. I'm going Lapacino for gold, Mihambo silver, and Jerodasevich in bronze. All 3 of them have been gearing up towards the world champs, and I'm also sorry if I absolutely butchered those pronunciations. This is some major guesswork. All 3 have been furthering their jumps as the champs near closer, which is a good sign of good periodization in their training plans. Also, you can just never doubt the Italians. Their jump programs always produce fantastic athletes. Also, Mihambo won the world champs in 2022, and she also jumped 693 last week. There are some big contenders who I didn't choose. These being Sawyers and Moore, who currently hold the top 2 spots this year. It's not like they're going completely backwards, but they jumped over 7 meters early in 20. The men's pole vault is always laughable, but I'm going Duplantis gold, Obiena silver, and Nilsson for bronze. It's an ever so slight shakeup from last year. Man, what can be said about Duplantis? It's considered a poor performance if he doesn't get over 6.05 meters. He's a competitive anomaly, truly. Obiena and Nilsson are the most consistent big jumpers this year outside of Duplantis, and also those who didn't make it through the US trials. Obiena has been especially cool to watch as he's broken the mold for Asian pole vault athletes and has been rapidly improving in the last couple seasons. But now for the craziest part, the big contenders. Half of them are missing. Lightfoot, now the 3rd highest jumper in history, won't be there due to missing out at the US champs. Kendricks is in the same boat as well, and he's the 4th best jumper in history. The US team trials are always beautifully unforgiving. There's also the Australian beast in Marshall, but he's only had 1 big jump this year, with the rest being kinda average. The last event on the list, and an event I will certainly be watching, is the women's pole vault. My picks are absolutely riddled with bias, with Katie Moon in gold, Eliza McCartney from New Zealand in silver, and Vilma Murto in bronze. Moon is just a given. She has the 4 highest jumps this year, bouncing back from a tough Olympic Games depression after winning gold in 2021. She's just the major favourite. McCartney is my countryman, who I've had the joy of watching in person multiple times. She's been off a short run up all year and has been jumping 4.7 meters plus consistently. She won bronze forever ago in Rio in 2016 and has been injured since basically, but she's back and in amazing form again. She's certainly an underdog this year, but mark my words, she'll be on that podium. Vilma Murdo is a Finnish jumper who has been the consistent second best jumper this year. She's also my girlfriend's hot pick as she's a major PoleVault fan. The biggest contender who I believe will miss out on the podium is Sandy Morris. She's a silver medal specialist, both at last year's World Champs and at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. She's been out of form recently and injured from memory, but who knows? Silver specialist may sneak a silver again. And that's it for my picks. Leave your medal picks down below. I'm seriously interested in your reasoning. I love this shit.